Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Local Edition. I'm your host, Bob Jimenez. Thanks for asking. In the studio today is Sandra Rogers. She is support group facilitator for Women at Risk, here to talk about World AIDS Day.
Yes, I am.
It would seem to me that there's a lot of attention. It seems like there's more attention than ever being given to AIDS at a time when a lot of people think it's no big deal anymore. We've sort of solved the problem, but not true, have we?
Oh, no, it's not true at all, Bob. As a matter of fact, people are still dying from AIDS every day on a very, very high rate. The medications are helping people live longer. However, there are consequences to the medications. There are complications with the medications, and it is still a very, very deadly disease, and people are suffering from it every day.
Well, your statistics are alarming because you've given me some that indicate that worldwide women account actually for more AIDS than men do living with AIDS and HIV.
That is correct.
And that here in the United States, what, 25% of new
25%.
infections involve women?
Women.
Why women more than, why are women overtaking the men in this?
Well, one thing about HIV is it is very potent in semen and blood. So although women can pass the virus to men, it's much lower than men passing to women because it's very potent in semen.
And in the African American community, women stand a higher risk than women elsewhere.
That is correct.
Why is that so?
Well, in the African American community, you still have a lot of taboo about HIV, about being HIV tested. African American men, it's still a taboo about being homosexual or bisexual. You have men who are in prison. They go in prison HIV negative. They come out HIV positive. They're not going to go home to their wives, their girlfriends, their lovers, and tell them that they had sex in prison. Therefore, they're going to have unprotected sex with their partners, and they're going to transmit the virus to women.
And men in general have a tendency not to tell, right? If they're having sex with women or a number of women, they don't say.
Oh, right. That's very correct.
Okay.
That's very true.
And it's a macho thing or what?
Well, men just, sometimes they don't feel like they need to tell. Sometimes they feel like they can handle more women, 5 women at a time, or they're just out there having a good time. They tend to have multiple sex partners. And that's just how they do. And a lot of women who enjoy the relationships, who know that their men are messing around, still tend to stay in relationships because they feel safe, they feel like they're being taken care of.
So if you have any suspicion that you might be infected, you should go get tested and not wait.
Oh, yes. You need to get tested right away. You need to get tested right away.
Okay, World AIDS Day. Tell me about that.
World AIDS Day, every year in December, we celebrate World AIDS Day. And Women at Risk is an organization for women who are HIV infected and their families, infected and affected. And in fact, we will be at the Barnes & Noble at Westside Pavilion, and we'll be doing gift wrapping. We'll be gift wrapping the books and accepting donations. And we also will be having guest speakers and speakers in different places in the community discussing HIV/AIDS awareness, education, and really pushing for people to be tested.
And where does the money go? Does it go to take care of this literature, or does it go other places
It goes to the Women at Risk organization. It goes to the women that Women at Risk embodies, the support groups. Women at Risk has several support groups all around the in LA area, and we really tend to help the families, the children, the women, and so the money goes to keeping the organization moving and helping the women. We're having a tea where Santa Claus comes and all the women come out with their children, and we give gifts to the children and things like that. So we really try to take care of the women in our communities.
And we didn't touch on children, but very quickly, children are at risk as well.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, definitely. And children 12 and up are starting to have sex at really enormous rates, very young. And they are getting other STDs like chlamydia and gonorrhea, which breaks down the immune system, which causes them, if they ever have sex with someone with HIV, they can get it quicker than people who haven't had any STDs before.
All right. Well, good luck in your efforts, Sandra Rogers.
Well, thank you so much.
Because it's, of course, a vital thing that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully people will come away from World AIDS Day more positive about it.
Yes, and thank you for having me on.
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate it.
You've been watching Local Edition. I'm your host, Bob Jimenez.